The US Special Forces were originally clearing out terrorists. Unexpectedly, a strange white light flashed across the team. All members of the team were instantly unconscious. When they woke up again, they found that they were surrounded by monsters with explosive combat power. After being hit with bullets, the monsters were not hurt at all. Fortunately, someone picked up a chestnut gun just now. The crisis was temporarily resolved. Even before I knew where I was, I saw more monsters approaching here. Not only are these monsters well armed, they are also equipped with protective shields that can withstand all harm. What kind of terrifying existence are they? What is the purpose of catching special forces? I won't go into details. The story begins. In the future world, a well-trained US military special forces is performing a mission and intends to destroy the terrorist lair in one fell swoop. The special forces have well-planned advanced equipment and sneak into the terrorist base camp, directly catching the enemy by surprise. Then they quickly clear the obstacles and occupy the high ground. The terrorists were killed as soon as they showed up. It didn't take long for the ground to be filled with a large number of corpses. However, the terrorists who had been stolen quickly reacted and quickly copied weapons to fight back. The two sides launched a fierce fight. With their numerical advantage, the terrorists really cornered the special forces. Seeing that the terrorists were about to attack the special forces, suddenly the surrounding area was filled with red hearts, and everyone was confused. They looked up and saw something strange in the sky. I saw a strange-looking spaceship rushing out of the clouds, using particle weapons to kill all the terrorists with one strike. After receiving the box lunch, the special forces who witnessed everything were stunned on the spot, and a dazzling white light flashed for a second. When everyone woke up again, they found themselves trapped in the mysterious liquid. They struggled to break free and looked around in confusion, wondering where they were. At first, the special forces thought it was a ghost caused by the enemy country. However, Brother Goo of the team said it couldn't be because the words on the spacecraft looked like ghost charms, indicating that everyone's names were written on them. And the number of their unit is like a detailed introduction to the collection. Everyone asked why Uncle Mao knew these words. The other party said they were not sure, but they could see it. At this moment, some people were surprised to receive filled bullets from the empty magazines. Others listened to the cold examination and found that the situation was the same. Everyone was puzzled as to why their captors helped load the weapons. What was the purpose of doing this? One of them said that when they were not in deep acquaintance, the other party would definitely come back here to check the situation. Now they must leave immediately. Then everyone took their weapons and carefully looked for the exit and saw a door. The hat guy in the team unconsciously stepped forward and put his hands on the wall. He was frightened and asked what he was doing. The other person said he didn't know, but he subconsciously felt that he should do this, but the door didn't open. Everyone had no choice but to use brute force to pry the door open and then continue to explore the fetching. They saw a passage that looked like a ventilation duct. A special soldier got in and planned to follow the duct to find the communication room. In the end, he successfully arrived at the other side of the warehouse entrance. He immediately told others that there was no danger and they could wait for everyone to meet up. I was surprised to find that there were shocking scratches and impact marks on the door. Someone must have seen some terrifying existence and tried desperately to escape. Now the special forces are also a little confused. The place they belong to is like a maze. After walking for a long time, there was no exit at all, and everyone seemed to have forgotten about seeing the spaceship. They began to guess that they should be underwater, maybe in a place similar to an underwater prison. Since it is underwater, there should be an airlock, so the team hurriedly set off to find it. But they didn't go far when they saw a trail of blood extending to the door in front. The blood had not yet solidified. It was obviously someone who had just left it not long ago. Everyone quickly clenched their guns and followed the blood trail forward, wondering what happened. After arriving at a smoky warehouse, suddenly a drop of blood fell on one of the people's foreheads. He looked up and found countless beheaded corpses hanging upside down, and several of them had been dried into bacon. I knew I couldn't stay in this warehouse any longer. Everyone hurriedly evacuated and unexpectedly found a woman who could breathe. According to the woman's instructions, the special forces successfully rescued her. At this time, someone found an unseen gun on the table and curiously picked it up to study. Everyone was busy with what they were doing. The hat guy who suddenly let out wind felt a chill on his back. The monster appeared unexpectedly and started a crazy hunting mode. The special forces were so frightened that they kept shooting. However, the monster's skin was rough and the bullets hit its body like it was being tickled. After a while, the special forces were beaten to the point where they were unable to fight back. Knowing that ordinary bullets are useless, one person took out the treasure that was automatically picked up just now. After successfully knocking down the monster, everyone stepped forward curiously to investigate. Unexpectedly, the monster suddenly came back to life. Thanks to the woman who had just been rescued, the timely replacement of the shot caused new casualties. The special forces also wanted to ask the woman if she knew what was going on, but she left without looking back. Seeing this, Zhou Rin hurriedly followed, stopped the woman and asked where she was, but the woman actually looked back with fear on her face. I saw two black figures exuding a strange aura slowly approaching the crowd. What is shocking is that this monster also holds a powerful particle weapon in its hand. Knowing that it is no match for the special forces, it is so frightened that it runs away with its head in hand. One monster was difficult enough to deal with, but unexpectedly more and more monsters came out. Their weapons were sufficient for the heaven-defying wonderland itself, and they were immune to ordinary bullet attacks. They headed towards the special forces without any worries. However, they did not expect that the special forces also had an example weapon in their hands. When the monster found one of its companions lying on the ground, it was so angry that it hurriedly increased its firepower. Seeing that the special forces team was about to report here, Kelly, the woman who was suddenly rescued, closed the hatch in front of her, and the owner escaped unharmed. He dared to block the hatch with a dagger, but he couldn't last long. They had to find a way to escape from here. There was a pipe just above it, and the cursed people climbed up one after another. In the end, only the broken Curly book was left. The dagger that blocked the hatch was bounced away before they could evacuate. Curly Comb Jinzhuang tried his best to suppress it with fire, and then quickly climbed up. He had clearly stepped into the pipe, but the monster suddenly reached out and grabbed his feet and pulled him down with force. Then the monster was about to climb up the pipe and start killing. Fortunately, Lao He had a particle weapon in his hand and was able to temporarily force the opponent back. Soon the survivors climbed along the pipe to other cabins. The special forces checked and found that only 4 people were left. For a moment, sadness and despair enveloped everyone. Some people had completely collapsed, shouting that those monsters were powerful, had advanced weapons, and were obviously more civilized alien creatures. What could they use to fight with others? When the captain of the special forces saw this, he asked him to stop talking nonsense. Why did Santa He use particle weapons as soon as he got started? The other party was obviously confused by the question and shook his head and said that he didn't know. Of course, the bizarre things didn't stop there. The captain clearly didn't speak Russian before. Now he can have a fluent conversation with Kelly, who speaks Russian. The captain asked what those monsters were. The other party said, "Didn't Brother Jinxing just say it?" The captain was too lazy to pay attention to him and asked Kelly where they were. The other party replied to the alien spacecraft. After hearing this, the excited brother was talking rubbish like crazy and greeted the 18th generation of the ancestors of loving creatures. Kelly understood that the special forces were not bad people, so she confessed that she actually knew English and now she wanted to go to a safe place. Brother Excited felt that he was simply joking and roared that there was no safe place on the alien spacecraft. He might as well stay where he was and hide. Maybe he could survive until the new year. The captain really didn't want to hear him fart. He and Lao He discussed taking control of the spacecraft because his daughter was still on Earth waiting for him to come home. Brother Jidong called out the strange sound of the sky, and one of the selling star creatures beat their entire team equally. Who knows how many alien creatures there are on the spaceship, and taking rash actions will directly lead to death. Lao He couldn't stand it anymore, so he grabbed his collar and excited brother was forced to close his pulse. The dead special soldier on the other side was taken to the laboratory. Alien creatures brutally smashed his legs and feet and used advanced equipment to extract his memories. After knowing what the special forces did after boarding the spacecraft, the hunt for orders was just an appetizer. Next, they will continue to play the cat and mouse chase game. At this time, the special forces followed Kelly for a while, but they really didn't encounter the star-selling creature. It seemed that the other party had lived on the spacecraft for a long time and was quite familiar with the structure of the spacecraft. The captain asked Kelly how many star-selling creatures there were in total and whether there were dozens. The other party said that he didn't know at all and said that the spacecraft was everywhere. Amir. Brother Excited heard this and really wanted to complain to his teammates, but no one wanted to talk to him. Everyone continued to follow Kelly and came to a very huge cabin. They found that there were many bottles and cans in it. They came closer and wanted to know what was inside. It showed that there was too much dirt and they could not see the contents clearly. Everyone continued to move forward without stopping. Suddenly Brother Gua said to stop, and there was a relatively clean jar above. Unexpectedly, the jars contained human beings and had turned into withered bones. Everyone swallowed their saliva in fear and looked around. There were thousands of jars densely packed around them. This was not good news. Kelly said they had to leave quickly. At this time, Scar, the leader of the alien creatures, took out the instrument and easily found the location of the special forces. On the other side, Kelly and others came to a cabin full of containers. The captain wanted to know what was in the container. The other party said something that might be useful. Others were still searching for supplies. Old Hay came to the captain. It means that since the alien creatures know their whereabouts, they are very likely to use encirclement tactics, so they must stick to their position and use offense as defense. In short, they will never let the opponent surround them, and doing so requires a bait. Everyone unanimously looked at Brother Excited, and the other party said it was impossible. Brother Gua testified that it was him who should do it. He was the fastest runner in the team and made his companions believe him. After saying this, he picked up the gun and walked out. He even sang a song arrogantly. The alien creatures who came out to hunt had never seen such a thing and did not bother to encircle them. They rushed towards Brother Gua. On the verge of death, Guagu repeatedly hit the enemy alien creatures. Naturally, he responded to any request and wanted to beat him into a sieve. Fortunately, Gua Ji's Scud ran fast enough to dodge bullets and was able to sweep enough to successfully lead the enemy to the concentration box. The captain and others who were hiding in the dark quickly launched an attack upon seeing this. The alien creatures were caught off guard. The first wave of alien creatures wiped out the entire army. Before the special forces had time to breathe, a new round of war began again. Aliens dare to blindly flash their protective shields in the face of a hail of bullets. It is true that their skin is thick, but they can still be injured by ordinary bullets. But with a protective shield, there is no need to worry. Kelly and others attacked for a long time and found little effect. They had to resort to the 36 strategy. How could the superior alien creatures let them go so easily? They were chasing after them like mad dogs. Seeing another brother die, Mobile Brother was extremely angry and fired at the alien creature rapidly. However, the opponent's protective shield was indestructible. The captain saw that the situation was not good and forced Brother Mobile to evacuate, but he was soon attacked from both sides. Seeing this, Kelly closed one of the doors and opened the passage next to it, shouting for the special forces to retreat. The last few people slid along the pipe into a pool of blood. The fishy smell shot straight up to the sky. Lingai was so excited that his stomach was churning. He wanted to know what was so smelly. Who would have expected that when he took a closer look? He found that the surroundings were full of human remains. Suddenly, a woman's voice came from above. Following the direction of the voice, Kelly looked and found that the woman was actually her mother. She looked surprised. It seemed that she did not expect that her daughter was still alive. Then everyone climbed up with the help of the woman. At this moment, the captain saw the woman's armband and blindly asked her if she was from the Russian Fourth Guard. He told her to mind her own business and then asked everyone to follow him. Dodging sensors along the way, he finally brought the man back to the secret base without any danger. After confirming that everyone was safe for the time being, the captain asked the woman why she was here because she was a Russian tank commander. In fact, this question is a bit confusing. No one should have volunteered to be hunted by alien creatures. How did the special forces come? This is how rich people come. He asked the captain when he woke up and where he woke up. The captain said that about a few hours ago, their weapons were placed next to them in a place similar to an exhibition hall. The woman corrected and said that it was a trophy room. The ones in that warehouse were souvenirs. The rest were in bottles and cans. Alien creatures will deliberately reload souvenir weapons and then enjoy the fun of hunting. Captain Sword Woman knows the alien creatures very well and wants to know when she woke up. The other party said that he couldn't remember. It was about 20 or 30 years ago. Anyway, Kelly was born after she was captured. All this was actually caused by human beings committing suicide. The special forces were confused after hearing this. The rich man said that in the year of the 7 stars, NASA launched a probe with a map on it, allowing alien creatures to know the location of people on Earth. However, they did not launch an attack rashly, but first captured many human military strategists, including the rich man and the special forces team. Later, the aliens used an advanced instrument to examine what was in human brains and found that humans had conducted many military exercises to know how to fight and their own weaknesses. Then the alien creatures destroyed the Earth within a few weeks. So now there is no need to think about going home, and the connection of the instrument is two-way. After alien creatures acquire human things, humans will have some special abilities. For example, the captain can suddenly speak Russian, even though the rich man said that he would never talk too much with strangers before. But all his teammates were killed after destroying the reactor of the alien spacecraft. Now only Kelly survived. The mother and daughter must now cooperate with the special forces. At this time, the alien creatures are repairing the communication relay. They must not be allowed to succeed, because the current spacecraft should be floating in outer space. The place where they are is just one of the warehouses. Thousands of jars are filled with stuffed livestock. The alien creatures want to transport all the goods home. If the communication device is repaired, they will send out a signal to call the same kind. By then, they will be completely finished. The captain asked the woman how she knew these things. The other party pointed to an ear and said they were talents she had acquired. The scene changed, and the excited brother became depressed. He couldn't believe that his family was gone. The captain was even more sad because he was caressing his daughter's photo. He felt deeply that if his daughter was still alive, she would be 40 years old now. Then the 3 members of the Special Forces team decided to cooperate with the rich man. The captain wanted to know where the communication center was. The rich man said that he had figured out the location. Lao He wanted to fight the alien creature directly, but the rich man said that and was killed before he could succeed. His plan was to go along the pipe, but he would be discovered in a few seconds. In this case, he would need something else to distract the guard. As he said this, he showed the explosives and matchkeepers in the box. Then everyone just went ahead and arrived at the top of the communication center. The woman told everyone that she knew how to go down and install the explosives. With luck, she could retreat before the explosion. All the others had to do was to attract the attention of the alien creatures as much as possible. Soon everyone was divided into 2 groups. Kelly, her daughter, and brother Jidong arrived at a suitable place. Now they were waiting for the captain to lure away the guards. At this time, the captain came to a long tank and shouted, "Brothers, come and kill me." Scar was worried that he couldn't find them. Unexpectedly, the prey came to the door by himself. Soon after, Brother Mobile discovered that the guard had left, so he immediately put down the rope and took action. Finally, the 3 of them successfully arrived in front of the communicator. At the same time, The captain and Naohei were vigilantly checking the surrounding situation and found that there was danger approaching and hurried to hide in the dark. After solving the immediate trouble, the captain seized the enemy's protective shield and successfully blocked the next violent attack. He and Naohei fought for a while and then escaped using the dog-walking tactic. It's just that the alien creature quickly noticed something was wrong. Scar took out the instrument and checked it carefully. He found that someone was approaching the communicator. He was so angry that he quickly informed his men to go back. When the captain of the Hand family found out that this was not good, he quickly retreated while fighting to support Brother Mobile, but the remaining enemies were too difficult to deal with. Upon seeing this, Naohei heroically closed the cabin door and locked the captain out. He also said that he could just leave the place to him. At first, Naohei was still able to suppress the enemy's approach with firepower, but soon the energy of the particle weapon was exhausted. He could only take out his pistol to defend himself. As a result, he was caught after a short time. Naohei pulled the grenade ring without any hesitation. At this time, Kelly and the others were still placing explosives. Suddenly, the woman heard the alien creature approaching and called blindly. She maneuvered and stood guard at the door while she continued to install the explosive. After 2.5 seconds, the alien creature came over and killed them. The three of them picked up their guns and fought back with all their strength. The woman understood that she couldn't practice fighting, so she used fire cover to let her daughter leave first. Then she asked Brother Mobile to retreat, and she stayed behind. Brother Mobile didn't hesitate at all, but the woman couldn't hold on for long and soon fell to Scar's gun. During the mudslide, the rich man stole the remote control. Mobile brother Jinjuang, who was not far away, quickly took Kelly away. After a loud noise, the communicator completely shut down. But Mobile brother and Kelly were in a very bad situation. During the recent relationship, Brother Mobile fell in love with Kelly. In order to protect his beloved, he hid Kelly and then shouted to lead the alien creature to other places. On the other side, Kelly thought she was safe and climbed out of the hiding car to confirm that there was no danger behind her. At the same time, the captain was still on the way back to support. To her surprise, he accidentally found a cell where living people were kept. These people were chattering for help. The captain knew that they would expose him, and he had a mission. He had to leave first. However, he was knocked down and put in the cell. When I woke up, I found that Kelly was also here. The other party sadly said that his mother was dead. He was excited and his life and death were unknown. At this moment, several aliens came to the captain and angrily dragged him to the slaughterhouse. He hung him upside down and prepared to slaughter and make cursed meat. The critical moment. The excited brother said excitedly that it was thanks to him hiding here. Then the two of them went through 5 levels and killed 6 generals to release all the people in the cell. However, the sellout army quickly came to kill the 3 people and emptied the magazines, but still failed to kill the enemy. When he was worried and didn't know what to do, the excited brother threw out the big treasure. By BWD. Thinking that all the enemy troops had been wiped out, excited brother danced excitedly, but within 2 seconds he was stabbed through the heart by a big knife. The leader, Scar, angrily opened the door and walked in front of the captain. Captain Jinjuang quickly picked up the dagger and fought, shouting for Kelly to run for her life. What followed was the ultimate showdown between the 2 leaders. Captain managed a few moves at first, but Scar's knife was 5 meters long, so it didn't matter. When entering the battle, he was able to activate the protective shield to perform both offense and defense. He beat the captain to the point of vomiting blood. However, Scar may have been too conceited or underestimated the enemy. The captain managed to survive. He ran to look for Kelly and found that she was looking at a place where the sun was shining through. The captain climbed up the ladder and saw a familiar building. The film ends here. It seems that the appearance of the aliens in the film has been carefully mixed with many familiar science fiction elements. The characters of all the members of Guan Bao's Special Forces team in the gunfight scenes are vivid and full. Everyone is very righteous and has their own characteristics, which will not make the audience feel stupid when they watch it. However, the gap between the patient's front and rear combat power and IQ is a bit big. At first, it feels invulnerable and ordinary guns will hit you and nothing will happen. He was able to open the door easily, but the strongest leader at the back was actually trapped to death by a door. It felt like a joke.